Welcome back. We're live with Socially Served. I'm your host, Frank Sroka, and with me today is our guest, Michelle Pandit from the Canadian Council on Rehabilitation and Work. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, you're quite welcome. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the services that CCRW does offer to its clients, including sort of the WISP program. Maybe you can talk to me a little bit about that.
Absolutely. CCRW does have services across the country, and we do have a number of programs here in Toronto, one of which is the WESP program, Workplace Essential Skills Partnership. Bit of a long name.
I got you to say that one.
You did. And that's the program that I'm a part of.
Okay.
At WESP, we are quite specific in working with people who have a professional background or university college graduates. In our other programs, we do have the Partners Program, which is open to all persons with disabilities. I should also mention WESP is specific to persons with disabilities as well.
Mm-hmm.
In the Partners Program, they assist you with some entry level work, and they do offer wage subsidies, and there are other opportunities with partners as well. Stepping back to the WEST program, we have workshops which all of our clients participate in. And in those workshops, we cover a number of things, everything from your typical your resume, cover letter, interview skills, but we also talk about disclosure of a disability.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. So that's often when professionals are transitioning or re-entering into the workforce, that's often a big question is, how do I disclose? Should I disclose? What should I disclose? So maybe we could talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. And I was actually just telling our group yesterday that it's a very individual choice. Disclosure is, you do require a strategy for it, and that takes time and a bit of preparation. So, not everyone discloses if they have a disability, and you should never disclose what your disability is, but simply what accommodation or what type of tools you might need once you do start work.
Right, right. And then is that done with sort of the supervisor or the workplace environment, or how is that usually done?
It depends.
Yeah.
So some people choose to disclose in an interview, and that's their choice. Some people find the need to disclose even before the interview takes place, especially if there will be testing as a part of the interview,
Right.
and they require some kind of assistive technology.
Or additional time or so forth, yeah.
Or maybe even large print,
Right.
an ASL interpreter.
Exactly, exactly. So as part of this transitioning, I guess, and you're catering to professionals, students, I guess, for
Yeah.
post-secondary school has finished and completing. So what is the first step? They come to your agency. They're ready to work, willing to work. So what's usually? Can you give me an idea sort of the process?
Absolutely. The first step, a lot of people do find us online, and so we do have a pre-screening form, which is just some basic criteria to see that you meet the most basic requirements of our program, able to come to our location and that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is a face-to-face meeting with our intake coordinator, and that's when she gets an idea of, is this a good match for both the job seeker and for the WEST program. Uh, Once the intake is complete, the job seeker would come to our workshop, which is 2 weeks. They attend the full workshop, and we get to know our clients a lot better by them attending the workshop. And because we build such a strong relationship with our employers, this is important.
Mm-hmm.
We can really vouch for our job seekers.
So is this like life skill workshops, or we like pre-employment workshops?
You could call it a pre-employment workshop. Not so much life skills. It's very direct to job search. So we do a little bit of job goals, transferable skills, a lot of role playing and practice, because the tricky part about finding work is having your resume done
Right.
and acing that interview.
Right. And so I guess do they you kind of focus and target on labor market research, I guess, for specific areas that people are trying to obtain an interview in or an opportunity? Is that
Absolutely. And we have found that with our program, there is a large variety of job seekers in terms of the type of work they're looking for. So we've been fortunate to work with everyone from financial risk analysts, medical professionals, costume designers,
Hmm.
and she found work as a costume designer,
Wow.
I would like to add, which is pretty neat.
Excellent.
Yeah. A
Excellent.
pastor. The list
Wow.
goes on, but we want to make sure that we're helping people get into their career of choice, not just kind of sticking them into a job. Yeah, and some folks do need, you know, more, I guess you could say, more of a survival job or just need a quick job, and that's fine. And where there are programs for that as well.
Great.
But if someone wants to spend a little bit more time and find that career, we take a bit of a longer approach, a longer bit more time to craft that career search
So this is
process.
almost like a customized service plan or employment plan that you do with that individual?
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's excellent. So, and then once the individual's into employment, is there kind of checks and balances that are in place to ensure kind of retention, or is there what's done then? What's the process?
So once someone does find work, we keep an open line of communication. And we highly encourage our job seekers to contact us and let us know how it's going. And we do check in with them as
Excellent.
well. And recently we did have a job seeker who had some questions. She called us. And there are different options
What's
there.
going to happen?
If we have a relationship with the employer and we have permission from the job seeker, we can intervene if need be. Or we can just talk them through it. Sometimes they just need to chat.
And it's interesting you use the word relationship with employer, and that's really key.
Yes.
Because I guess with employers, that a big step is, is an individual qualified, but also are they the right fit for my company? Can they do the right particular skills? So can you tell me a little bit about that matching process?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because we have a good relationship with our employers, we have a pretty strong understanding of what their needs are beyond the job description. And again, we spend 2 weeks with our clients. Our program runs from 10 to 3, so we have a pretty good understanding of their tolerance of stress and perhaps some of those softer skills that the employers are looking for. We do our best, and sometimes we need to tweak things a little bit, but overall we've had great success, and we kind of joke with our clients that at the end of the day, we never want to see you again. We want you to find
In
work.
a nice way.
In a nice way. We want you to find work
Exactly.
and be happy
Well, this is it.
and not need our services.
Well, this is so true. I mean, being in a job that you totally enjoy makes so much difference, mentally and physically, and I guess even attaining sort of career goals comes from where you're working and being in a place you like to be working in.
Absolutely.
So that's fantastic. The other thing, and I just wanted to ask you too, so do you provide a little bit of skills training in these instances too? Like if people are saying, I need to brush up on certain skill sets, does that happen at all?
Right. So if someone said, my Excel skills, I need to improve that, we would connect that person to a resource. In-house, we unfortunately aren't able to, but we do have lots of great connections in the community.
Okay, so we're going to be going back to a commercial break right now, but when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the unique, innovative ways you kind of allow people to transition into employment. We're going to talk a little bit about mentoring days.
Yes.
Yeah, right. I think I really want to talk about that. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Equitech Employment Equity Solutions is Canada's #1 subscription-based outreach provider. Equitech's outreach network takes your employment posting and job information and distributes it directly to over 800 outreach partners nationally. Driving the qualified candidates you're looking for right to your door. So why not connect to the largest diversity broadcast portal and be a part of Equitech's diverse and comprehensive outreach strategy today. Check us out at www.equitech.ca. Socially Served is sponsored by Equitech Employment Equity Solutions.
Welcome back to Socially Served. I'm here in the studio with Michelle Pedith from the Canadian Council on Rehabilitation and Work. And we were just talking a little bit about transitioning into employment, that whole process, and I wanted to talk to you about sort of like an innovative way of people are finding a little bit more about the work environments. And you mentioned to me in our when we were discussing this earlier about mentoring day. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so this was a really neat thing we were involved in last year for the first time, and I have to give credit to Dolphin Technologies because it's really their event. Um, they call it the Dolphin Mentorship Day, and what they do is they reach out to different community providers, service providers across Ontario, and it's actually quite far-reaching. But it was the first time it was done in Toronto last year. Dolphin had lined up some fantastic employers. The CBC took part, AMI,
Wow.
yeah, BMO. A lot. There were a lot of employers, and they had positions, very unique positions. And we reached out to the community of job seekers and people who matched the mentorship opportunities got to spend a day with their mentors.
Oh, excellent.
And I can tell you from the experience of our clients that some of those relationships continued and the coaching continued throughout. There also were people who had interviews after. Job offers.
Terrific.
Yeah, so it went beyond just the mentorship day. It was fantastic.
That's great. So there's sort of job shadowing in that work environment. Mm-hmm. Then they can sort of ask questions. They can see sort of, is this also, the right type of fit for me? Do I really want to work in this type of work environment, right? So It works both ways.
It works both ways.
Yeah, excellent. Fantastic. That's amazing. And I really like the innovative approach to it. The other thing I wanted to speak to you about was your involvement with the People in Motion show. Yes. And maybe you can tell me a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So we have been working with People in Motion for a number of years now, and People in Motion is Canada's largest disability exhibition. And CCRW has been managing the career fair portion of People in Motion for a number of years now. So that's coming up on May 26th, and we have a couple of spots for employers left, so we would love to have some more involvement. But right now, the employer list is looking fantastic.
Great.
And it's different industries as well, which is nice. Mm-hmm. We would like people to register. Some employers are interested in seeing resumes, so potential interviews. Last year we had a number of interviews on the spot. We had a private interview booth for that. And it's been a great success, actually. After last year's event, all of the employers said, okay, let's talk about next year.
That's very good. So now it's this year.
It is this year.
So what's the new things that are happening, or how are you setting that up?
So this year, last year was a 2-day event, mm-hmm. and this year we decided to condense it all into one day because that was feedback from the employers that they'd rather, it's difficult for them to share those resources for 2 days. So that would be one key difference, that it's only on May 26th. People can certainly come in. I do ask that you take a look at our flyer, take a look at our website, ccrw.org, as well as peopleinmotion.com. So take a look at those. We do have flyers listing all of the employers there.
Excellent.
And to the job seekers interested in coming, do your research. Take a look at the different positions available with these employers and know what it is you want to do when you talk to the employers, because that's what really impresses them.
Should they bring like a portfolio, a resume with them? Should
Absolutely.
They be prepared?
Be prepared, right. Yes. Come with several copies of your resume. Look sharp, dress for success, smile. Okay, smile goes a long way. And be confident when you introduce yourself.
Terrific. Okay. Are you having any guest speakers, or is this sort of a forum for speakers? Or
it's a little tricky because it is an exhibition, so there's a lot going on. People in Motion has everything from archery to wheelchair ballroom dancing, so there's so much going on. They do have keynote speakers, but throughout the day I'm not so sure they will have speakers.
Well, that's fine. And is there admission? Is it
it's free?
It's free.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So there's
price.
No reason why you can't go, right?
Exactly.
Excellent. So, I'd really appreciate you coming to visit us today at the studios, and I just wanted to see if you would be able to provide us with more information how people get in touch with your agency.
Absolutely. The best way is online, so ccrw.org. Like I said, we have a number of different programs, so if you're not sure which one is the best fit, you can always give us a call, send us an email. All the information is on our website. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. It's pretty easy to find us, CCRW, or the Canadian Council on Rehabilitation and Work.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you again to all our viewers, and do check out the programs and services from CCRW, and do attend this People in Motion show. There's no excuse. Go there, be prepared. And I'd like to thank you for joining us on Socially Served. And right afterwards, we'll have a message from our sponsor, Equitech Employment Solutions. Thank you for joining us, and have a great day.